on the moon, when the blue red sky come alive.
Want to see a dead body?
I don't believe there's anything scarier than a baby-faced vampire. But there she was. Let's just call her Hermes.
Want to see a dead body?
She, Hermes that is, after tormenting me with the wanna see a dead body question, had finally agreed to act as a liaison between the underworld of black female vampires. For the first couple of days, we drove around aimlessly. In layman's terms, I was her bitch. She wanted to test my patience, and they wanted her to test my patience. I was at her beck and call. And finally, one by one, after seeing that I was willing, they slowly opened their door to me, their underworld. After a long journey, on a rainy night that is, we found ourselves in a rural, small town in an undisclosed location, just somewhere in America, driving towards the house of Alva Delphine Wesley, one of the oldest living black vampires in the United States of America.
You ready for me now? So you want to hear my story? But you have to listen to the whole story. We have lives that begin before this story that you want to tell. I was born in Lake City, South Carolina. You don't know where that is, do you? Most people I tell it, they don't know where it is. They don't know where it is. So that's where I was born. My mama, my daddy, they were sharecroppers. And we worked that land. I think my great-grandmother had worked it right after the end of slavery. We thought if we kept working that land, that one day it would be our land. It didn't turn out that way. So, my daddy worked himself to death. Then my mama worked herself to death. And as soon as they was done, I was 17. And my brother was 19. And we kept working until one day they told us to change the land. Get off the land. Wasn't that much work down there at that time, and everybody was talking about heading up north to look for jobs, to get some money together. So we had what was left from us from my mom and dad, which wasn't much, and we got on the train like everybody else. I still remember the day that I stepped into Harlem. Now, just imagine, here I am, country girl, I'm in Harlem. It's just people moving everywhere. And some people sound like us, like straight turnips, right from the country. But other people are speaking different languages, and it's so alive. It's so alive. And I walked the streets, and one day I was called into an employment agency. I met the nicest woman. She was strange. But hey, for a country girl, everybody was a little strange in Harlem. And she told me she had the perfect job for me. I still remember the first day I went to the Van Vector family's house. It was a strange house. Black, red shutters. And you couldn't really see inside. I guess I thought then, oh, this is people who don't like light. And my mom always warned me about people who just don't like the light. But I said, they were paying me some good money. And the funny thing is, they didn't want me to cook anything. They wanted me to clean. They wanted me to tend to their children. They wanted me to do errands for them during the day, you know, taking letters to the postmaster or things like that. So I said, why not? I do it. So everything was fine. The only thing I will say is sometimes I could feel the one child, I think he was about 13, Frederick, watching me. One day I came and Frederick was the only one really around. It was strange. It was strange. And I went about doing my cleaning, and I was standing there in one of the bedrooms, one of the girls' bedrooms, and I felt that coldness again, you know? The coldness I told you about. And I turned around and said, boy, did I tell you about not announcing yourself when you come into a room? And he stared at me and walked closer to me, this strange look in his eyes. And I said, well, Frederick, what's the matter? I thought he was sick or something. And the next thing I know, he grabbed me. I never thought a 13-year-old boy could grab a woman. And at first I was like, oh, I don't think Frederick likes me that way. Then I felt his teeth on my arm, sunken in. And the next thing I knew, everything was black. I woke up feeling like icicles running through my blood. And I wasn't in the Van Vector house. I was flat on my back, and all I could see was stars, and it was dark. But I could smell, and I could hear. I could actually hear everything. I could hear the worms in the ground. I knew I wasn't the same person. I wasn't the same person. I didn't want to go home, not with that taste and that hunger in my mouth. I never felt anything like that. And I walked past the fancy cabarets that all the people from downtown came uptown just to, you know, get a little color, be around a little color. I knew that wasn't the type of place I could ever be in. So I found myself going down a little back street, and I could hear a voice singing, and the voice was almost singing right to me. It was a husky voice. I said, I'm not near one of the main cabarets. Where am I? But I could hear that voice singing, Harlem moon in a blood red sky come alive. And it was singing to me. And each note made my heart beat quicken and the cool rush through my veins. I was gonna go find that voice. I knew that voice, and I knew the song as if I had wrote it.